So I mean, yeah, those are all our final projects. Sorry. If any of you guys have any questions for any of the interns about any of their final projects, please feel free to ask.
I have a question for Jonathan, I think. How long did it take you to make your song, and what programs did you use?
I used FL Studio, and it took me, I don't know, because I worked in it in sections because I can never work on something for hours. So I did like probably like 3 hours a day just experimenting. So in total, it took me like probably like a week to finish it.
It's cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is just a general question for anyone who, or ones who want to answer it, since I met with you several weeks ago and we had a conversation that was very interesting and informative for me. I'm wondering if there were any things that you experienced that were surprising to you or unexpected, and if anything changed in you.
I feel like in doing the satellite program, I have a greater appreciation and respect for the art and how it's made and how the people that work here take care of it, because we all kind of came in here not knowing really what to expect, and it was just even sitting in front of a painting for 20 minutes, it really changes your perspective on the museum and on the art.
I found out that there's a lot more to the art museum than you might think. Like, as you see a grandfather clock, and you see it's pretty and shiny and everything, but you don't really see all the clogs and strings and mechanics that go inside of it. Like the other day we were talking to the conservator, and he went on a lot about all this stuff that goes into just preserving the art so we can all see it. And there's all these different jobs and all these little ants running around in the anthill that we never see. We just see the art. We don't really see all the things that make it work. And that was something I found really interesting.
I agree with Alex. There's definitely a lot of the behind the scenes going on that was really interesting for us to learn about. One of my favorite parts that was really unexpected was the visit with the elementary schoolers. They were in 3rd through 6th grade, so some of them were pretty young, but they could say some really profound things about the art that would make us reconsider our perspective on the art and teach us things. And I think that was kind of surprising for a lot of us, that you kind of learn a lot from people younger than you, and to just not dismiss someone's perspective. And I think that's important to keep in mind, especially as artists or people interacting with art, is that everyone's perspective is important.
So I'm wondering, you obviously in some way, shape, or form brought this back to your student populations, the people you hang out with, the people at your school and your classes. What are their kind of thoughts about the art museum, and did that change at all through your time there? So did you bring back these things, talk to people, and kind of get them questioning their preconceived thoughts about the art museum?
I mean, I'll go ahead and answer that one first. I actually, 1 week ago today, was my AP Studio art show, and I had a flyer for this event. And I mean, throughout the whole show, I was getting a lot of questions. Oh, what do you do there? What's this and that? Oh, I love the art museum. I just never get around to going. Or it was from that, or just the usual, oh yeah, I love going there with my family. And I mean, to every single person, it's kind of different. And I think that's what's so interesting about the museum itself. It's very, what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't know, it's very flexible, and it's very individualized for everybody. And I mean, when I would talk about it with my AP Studio class, it would be like some people come to the museum for inspiration. Some people just come to the museum as a hobby, just as a pastime. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's very profound, and it's just it all depends. The museum is something. It might be just architecture. It might be the actual what's inside of the museum and the galleries. It might just be the fact that it's in Milwaukee. I mean, it's something different for everybody, and I think bringing that back to at least I go to St. Thomas More High School, just bringing that to my AP Studio class because those are really the only ones that would listen about my internship here. But yeah, I mean, it'd be positive. Obviously there's some negatives that people will talk about, but it would just be positives. And I mean, yeah, if anybody wants to add.
I'll probably say like a week ago, I talked to my teachers about the art museum program, and it's not bad. I love it. Like every Thursday, it's like a highlight of my week. But when I try to talk about it towards the students in the school, not a lot of everybody is into it. But what I like to say was that the teachers, they put their inputs on it. I think my teacher, Mr. Zimmerman, actually came while we were observing a picture from a gallery a while ago. And what he said was that the art museum is a fun place because it just brings out another characteristic of Milwaukee. Like, we're not just, I mean, we're kind of known ideally for beer, cheese, and, you know, dairy products, but on the side, you know, like a lot of people are so smart, sophisticated, and, you know, they do these artful things, and a lot of people don't usually come here like that. Well, you know, what he was thinking, but a lot of people do, like well-diverse people, architect skills and sculpturing and all that stuff, and it's all inspirational. When then I thought to myself, if I had to come here, it'd just be to just look at the image itself. Like, I don't know, like seeing somebody else's artwork, they're teaching me something, but they're not saying anything. I gotta observe and absorb that knowledge, what that artist wanted to show for his audience.
For me, when I talk about the art museum to my peers, I get negative feedback like, oh, that's lame, that's boring, like, it's just an art museum. And I used to feel like that before I actually got the opportunity to come and appreciate the art museum. But then when I compare it to, like, the older people I talk to the art museum about, they think it's really interesting, and they tell me, like, when I was doing my interview, they were telling me, well, I met a particular older man from Germany, and he was telling me why he comes here, and he told me it's like a whole nother world coming into the museum from the architecture, and just walking in the front door and you can look up and you can see, like, it just lifts your spirit. And I got a whole nother perspective about it. So when I'm comparing like the opinions of people my age and the opinions of people older than me is very different, and it just makes me realize and it inspired me, like, the art museum is it's a good opportunity. Like, you know, I didn't appreciate it before I got this experience. So, like, people who's never been here won't appreciate it either until they actually get the experience. So, yeah.
Hi. So when I talk to my friends about the art museum and coming here to this internship, they're always like, "Oh, don't you get bored? Like, isn't it boring going every day? Like not every day, but like every Thursday?" Then like I have to tell them something like, "Oh, it's really hard to explain to like what we do here because it's so much fun and we do different things every time." And my friends, like half of them are like, "Oh, I don't like going because it's boring." And then I'll tell them, "Oh, I'm going to bring you so I can tell you everything that I've learned there." And then like my other friends, they get jealous. They're like, "Why don't you take me? But you took this person." And they get mad at me. And I'm like, "Okay, I'll take you." So I feel like coming to this program has helped me a lot, like looking at the art and then like going to my friends and telling them, "Oh, yeah, I learned this." And then it like gets them thinking like, "Oh yeah, I want to go see it." So, yeah.
Okay, so I got into this program through my clay design teacher, and he kind of pushed a group of people in my class towards it, and most of the other people were kind of tepid about it, like they didn't exactly know how it was going to go, and so they didn't want to do it. They were very hesitant, and so I said that I would do it and then give them like play-by-play, I guess you would call it, of what happens every week and how fun it is and awesome it is. So I came here and I've been giving them this feedback, and they've started to become less tepid about it, and some of them have started to show interest in maybe coming like next year or next session. So yeah.
I have to agree with Nick because I am the only person from my school who's currently in this program right now, and a lot of students are just like, "Oh, I really don't want to go. It's at the museum. It's kind of nerdy, kind of lame." And I'm like, "You're an art major. It's kind of a cool thing." It's not that lame, guys. And there's this one girl who's in particular who I think would do really good here, and she's like, no, no thanks. And we're all just like, you should try it. And she's like, no. So I think it's good to like help other people get more informed of these things because I didn't know it existed until this year, and a lot of people don't.
Okay, I definitely agree with what everyone said, that like this internship has really inspired me to kind of try to spread that enthusiasm to like my friends and my peers. And I brought my two friends, Nia and Kiara, here for the photo shoot I did for my final project. And after we were done taking pictures, we walked through the Of Heaven and Earth exhibit. And I think it was just kind of surprising that like even just being here for like an hour can kind of change the way you view things, and like it affects like the rest of your day and like who you talk to. And I think it's kind of inspiring to see that change and be able to share that with other people, especially for young artists, because I think it's kind of easy just to do your own thing and do your own art and only be inspired by your own thoughts. But I think coming to the museum and like discussing that with other people can really change that for the better.
I almost forgot what I was going to say, but as Nicholas said, we had the same teacher, but I go for IB Art, and Mr. Graff, he greatly encouraged us to join it because for a moment, none of the students at King wanted to join, and he was like, you must join or I'm going to ground your grade, and he was going to kill us. So a few of the IB Art kids were like, I don't have any time, and a lot of them will like really, really fit in here, and they're so awesome. They're awesome people. And I have one of them, it's right here, Milka, with the little purple in her hair. I want you to be there next time. They get Milka. But it's like mostly for us, we love the art museum, but usually we don't have any time to visit or to actually go. And that's the only thing, because everybody at my school was like, oh, art's cool, art's fun. But I have no time. I have to study. And it's like, I guess like the art museum like a leisure time instead of study time. And that's what I like about this internship is I get to relax like one day a week, and it's just with awesome people who make me laugh every time I come here, and we make weird jokes and stuff. And it's a pretty awesome experience, and I enjoyed it the entire time.